CGA Sports back in here with the NFL Week 11 review to see how we did, man, on our predictions. Week 10 was an absolute disaster. Week 11 was not too bad. We went 9-3, I believe, in all the games, something like that, with a couple of games sneaking upon us. And we have the Kelse Bowl, the Taylor Swift Bowl, the Andy Reid Bowl coming up this Monday night. Well, tonight. And if you're watching the show, the game has already happened. And I'm going to tell you that the Philadelphia Eagles will not win today's game. And you're watching it live right here after Kansas City defeated the Philadelphia Eagles. And I'll have a score for you later on. Maybe. Anyway, shout out to the Eagles. And we got a great review here. We're just going to review and keep it nice and airtight. All right, nice and airtight. And talk about the Kelse Bowl. Just reviewing this week's games. They were pretty much predictable. And we'll go through them one by one. Hope your team won this year or this season or this evening, this weekend. And my team did not win, but it is what it is. There you see the final scores there on your board. And let's go through them game by game. You realize the Ravens won on Thursday night. They beat the Bengals. And for your football viewing pleasures this weekend, it's going to be an interesting weekend of football. Thursday, 3 games, triple header. You have the Cowboys and the hold on for a second. Forget the Cowboys. You have the Detroit Lions versus the Green Bay Packers. A great classic Thanksgiving game. You have the Cowboys playing somebody, and I can't remember off the top of my head, and you have the 49ers and the Seattle Seahawks. Then Friday, I believe you have the Miami Dolphins playing on Friday. Then you have football games on Sunday with not that many football games on Sunday. So your week is going to be interesting all weekend long. So be prepared if you want to catch up on your NFL. Okay, we got some playoff implications this week, but let's go ahead and review. Let's go ahead and review what happened there. Bengals taking a loss and all of that stuff. But let's review this game right here. And if you had the under, you were sitting pretty the entire game. The Pittsburgh Steelers finally lose and losing a game with only scoring 10 points. Worst offense, one of the worst offenses in the league, but still a respectable level of play. In the AFC playoff race, the Cleveland Browns, top tier team, 7-3, a top, I believe, competing against the Baltimore Ravens for the championship in that division. Cincinnati, Pittsburgh are not going to put up a fight. All right, so congratulations to the Cleveland Browns. If you had the under, which was 33, you were sitting pretty. All right, and it took a last-minute field goal, essentially, to win this game. All right, the defense for the Cleveland Browns were very good. And I might add, the Cleveland Browns got a very questionable touchdown call in the first quarter. All right, very questionable touchdown call. I don't believe he broke the plane. I don't know what to tell you. All right, but they got dodged a bullet to be able to beat the Pittsburgh Steelers. Very ugly games. All right, so let's go to this one right here. Of course, my team, the Las Vegas Raiders. All right, listen, man, I don't believe in moral victories, and this one certainly is not a moral victory. We have a very, very tough gauntlet coming up. Schedule-wise, we have the Kansas City Chiefs twice in between. We have the Minnesota Vikings, both teams playing good top-tier football. And I think the Broncos round off at the end of the game, at the end of the season. Very tough schedule coming up for the Raiders. So it was imperative that they do good in this game, play confidently. Offensively, didn't play that confidently. 10-7 at the end of the first quarter, but couldn't get off on the board here for the second quarter. Miami didn't look impressive either. The weak spot is their defense, although the Raiders didn't do a lot. Offense scored had over 400 yards, but it wasn't a pretty game. Defensively, the Raiders stood strong as they possibly could, but the offense couldn't get out of the blocks with the rookie quarterback, Aiden O'Connell. They didn't look bad, but didn't look good. Can't win scoring 13 points unless you're the Cleveland Browns or you play in the AFC North. Shout out to the Miami Dolphins. They're not Super Bowl ready. The Miami Dolphins are not Super Bowl ready. They need to fix that defense up just a little bit. Offense is ready to go. Let's go back to a stunning game. It's the Detroit Lions. Detroit, they're not the cowardly Lions. They certainly look cowardly the entire game, being dominated by the Bears from pillar to post from the beginning to the end, but the Bears could not execute, and they gave up a surprise rushing touchdown with no timeouts left. Detroit Lions go on top of the Bears, 8-2. Are the Lions for real? Nope. The Lions are not for real. All right, but they are a good football team. The Chicago Bears controlled the line of scrimmage. They actually dominated. I think they dominated the time of possession. Every time I looked up at the clock, the Bears had the ball. Where's my time of possession here? Let me see time of possession. Look at that. Look at that. The Bears dominated the time of possession. 40 minutes of football domination. Detroit only 19 minutes and 36 seconds. Every time I looked up at the screen, the Chicago Bears had the ball. By the way, I was watching at one of the sports books. I was able to see all games in current time, especially the early games. And the Bears were, converting for third downs, very critical plays here. And they couldn't convert a critical third down, which gave Detroit the ball back with a few minutes left. Detroit scores a touchdown. And then Justin Fields looks like Justin Fields. He basically fumbles the ball. It was kicked into the back of the end zone for a safety. This game was closer than it appeared. In fact, the Bears dominated the game. I mean, the Lions had to come back, and they had to use everything they could to come back. So the Bears, again, they didn't look too bad. Detroit didn't look good, but I think they're better than they looked this weekend. You think they tanked it? All right, they could have tanked it. They definitely could have tanked it. Let's go to the next game right here. The Tennessee Titans and the Jacksonville Jags. We called this game as well. The Jags, the Titans are not a contender at all. In fact, they're one of the worst teams here. Will Levis did not look good in this game. And the Jags dominated the entire game. I think, Tennessee did come back in the second half, but this game was over from the beginning. The Jags played like a contender. AFC's wide open. I mean, the Kansas City Chiefs are the Chiefs, but other than that AFC championship game is wide open. You might be looking at Baltimore, but the Jags can get in there. Jags can get in there, and they played well. They only really played one bad game this year, the Jags. Yeah. Did Will Levis get back with his girl? She came back to Will Levis. All right, I think she came back. She's like, you starting? So she done came on back. All right, she done came back on. Let's go to the next game. The San Diego Superchargers. They are who we thought they were. They are terrible. Okay. They're terrible. And it's about time. That coach is about to see the door. Bill Belichick might be getting the call. Jim Harbaugh might be getting the call. The San Diego Superchargers choke on it at Green Bay. There's no excuse for this loss. There's no excuse for this loss. I mean, they're soul searching right now. They're soul searching. I wonder, how will I win a game? The Chargers are stupid bad. And not only that, they are in last place in the division. All right, who would have called that? They got all that talent, but they can't do anything. And the Green Bay Packers, in an ugly game, to be honest with you, in an ugly game, they had to come back in comeback fashion to win the game. So what do you say, man? What do you say? The Chargers are about done. We're done with this experiment here. Justin Herbert, it's time to perform and get your team to winning status, but it ain't happening. Surprise game. The Arizona Cardinals and your boy Kyler Murray trying to save his job and get the Arizona Cardinals out of the first pick. All right, he trying his best. But they actually were doing well in this game. It was a close game back and forth, some turnovers here and there, bounce ball here and there. Houston Texans with a win. You got to give that guy the coach of the year. I mean, who do you give the coach of the year? Houston Texans coach? You give the Detroit Lions the coach of the year? I mean, it's going to be a tough one. Who's going to get the coach of the year? I think if the Lions make the playoffs, if they qualify early, which they should in that division, I think the Lions coach is probably in line for the coach of the year. But you got to look at DeMarco. I believe his name is over in Houston. You got to take a look at him. I mean, nobody had Houston at 6-4. So that's one of the issues here. The Lions coach of the year. But Murray, man, Murray's trying to get them Cardinals into the fourth pick. Or he doesn't want his job to be costed right there. But anyway, I don't know how they do it here. All right, next game on the board, the Dallas Cowgirls. All right, Dallas Cowgirls beating up on the Panthers. It was closer than it looked. I mean, they were up at halftime. The Panthers looked demoralized. All right, just to let you know, man, I could see this part of the game. Bryce Young just looked demoralized. He's been beaten up, You know, he's been playing big time football. He played at Modern Day High School in Santa Ana, California, one of the top football high school factories in America. Then he went to play for the Crimson Tide at Alabama, and he had pretty much refrigerators and machines blocking for him, making him look good. Talented players all around the roster. Now he's here with the Carolina Panthers, and he's just like, this is just terrible, absolutely tragic. And the Cowboys put it on them 33-13, I believe, was 33-10. I was actually having concerns that the Cowboys would not cover in this. I believe they were a 10-point favorite, and they needed 16 points in the fourth quarter. 16 points in the fourth quarter. So listen, man, this game was not as bad as it looks on the final score. They needed 16 points, and they end up covering. But I was wondering for a second there. I was wondering. Anyway, Panthers go down. All right, who's what? The Cowgirl fans gonna hype themselves up. They're gonna be like, we ready for the Super Bowl. All right, I don't know about that. Let's see how many more games we have to cover here. Oh, another one. This is one I lost. All right, I lost this game. Giants beat up on the Redskins. Who called that? And they finally letting Mr. Tommy DeVito loose. 46 yards, passing 3 touchdowns, 18 for 26. So much for one of the worst quarterbacks in the league. Apparently, they got DeVito a playbook. He was working without a playbook for so long. And not only did they give him a playbook, they let this ninja throw the ball all over the field. The Redskins, ring the bell on the Redskins, man. This is about done for them. Yeah, DeVito played well. He must got a whole bunch of chicken cutlets from his mom's. So who saw this coming? I didn't. All right, this is definitely one of my losses there. Commanders have no pride at all. Rivera might be out ski, unfortunately, and I don't celebrate people getting fired. All right, we don't like that over here. Another predictable game and a predictable outcome. 49ers are back, beating up on the Yucks at home. Easy dub here. The Yucks get blown out. They didn't even put up a fight. Baker Mayfield throwing the ball here, 246 yards. Brock Purdy having a game. Does this give the 49ers back their spot as the top team in the NFC? Because Philadelphia is about to play the Kansas City Chiefs. All right, they're about to play them today. Most likely they're going to lose this game. And if the 49ers get back up in there and we watch Philadelphia go all the way down, because Philadelphia is about to take some L's now. They're about to get challenged for the first time all year. Philadelphia, what do we do with the Eagles? What do we do with the Eagles? Because Eagles going to lose tonight to the Chiefs, right? And then they have the Buffalo Bills, who are back. We'll talk about that. Then they have the 49ers, then the Cowboys, then the Seahags, and the new and improved New York Giants. All right. So what's going on, man? Should be interesting about to see what we're going to see with the Philadelphia Eagles. They're going to have a spell like they did. The 49ers did now. They're going to have a rough November. All right. We got a couple more games that we need to talk about. Then the Buffalo Bills and the New York Jets. Woo, wait, the Jets. The New York Jets. They are tragic. They're embarrassing. Zach Wilson benched officially this morning. But the Jets, I mean, they were talking Super Bowl. They can barely get into the end zone. I mean, it's ugly the entire time. I mean, they play basically from 25-yard line to 25-yard line. They can't even get in field goal range. Wilson is over. The Wilson experiment is over. I think he's done officially. Actually, I saw on ESPN that he's been officially benched. And the guy that came in after him is worse. I mean, they're going to have to give him a playbook, the DeVito playbook over here. All right, the guy that came in after him, he didn't want to do nothing. Like, what the hell are you waiting on? And Aaron Rodgers, do not come back. Aaron Rodgers, like, I want to come back. All right, they're going to start Tim Boyle. Who do they play next? Hold up. The Jets are a toast of the town. All right, let me see here. The Jets play the Dolphins, the Falcons, Texans, Dolphins again. Ooh, if you're a Jets fan, if you're a Jets fan, you got to be wondering what the hell you're going to do the rest of the season. I mean, you better go out, hang out in Long Island. Devontae to the Jets. RG3 petitioning to get out there. Where's Colin Kaepernick? Is Colin Kaepernick want to get out there too? Give Kaepernick a job. All right, here we go right here. Jets fans are used to this. This is great disappointment because you guys were supposed to get. My bad. I pressed the wrong button. I pressed the wrong button. Who should the Jets pick? Yeah, people are talking about Cam Newton. We're talking about who is it? Colin Kaepernick, Carson Wentz. Somebody just picked up an old quarterback. I think Flacco got picked up. Got picked up by who? The Bengals. This is terrible, man. Yeah, the Browns picked up Joe Flacco. Johnny Manziel out there. Matt Ryan out there. We need to pick up Matt Ryan. Who went to the Rams? Carson Wentz went to the Rams. Yeah, I saw that. Carson Wentz went to the Rams. Joe Flacco. Flacco to the Browns. Drew Lock still out there. Phillip Rivers. We need him. Where's Mariota at? Hold on for a second. Where's Marcus Mariota? He's good. All right. He's good for a run here. Where's he at? Is he signed anywhere? Where is he at? He plays for the Eagles. So, okay, all right. He's on the bench for the Eagles. They need him. Joe Namath's not walking through that door. The Eagles got him. Okay, I didn't realize he was with the Eagles. All right, that's a good pickup for him because they need him. Is he the number 2 or number 3 quarterback? Is he QB 2 or 3? Let me see the Eagles. Eagles QB depth chart. QB depth. Hey, give me the depth chart. That's not it. All right, we got QB depth chart here. Second string, we got Mariota. Okay, he's QB 2. Do they have a backup to Mariota? They might have to go get Carson Wentz. I don't think they only have 2. No, Tanner McKee. All right, yeah, they're gonna be struggling, man. Give me their depth chart real quick. Looking at the QB. Tanner McKee. Okay. All right, why not? Oh, Tanner McKee is nice. All right, shout out to Tanner McKee. Let me see if I can pull him up, get some info from him. All right, they got Eagles are ready to go, man. They just don't need an injury. Tanner McKee from Stanford. All right. You must have saw him in the preseason. You must have saw him play in the preseason. He must have done well. All right, next game right here. By the way, Buffalo Bills, are they back? I do want to talk about the Buffalo Bills because we already buried them dead back there. Should they be hyped about this win? I mean, it wasn't pretty. It looked cold as hell out there at the old Rich Stadium. They're getting a new stadium here in a year or two. Buffalo didn't. I mean, they dominated, but the Jets are so pathetic and sad. The defense was quitting on the plays. They were quitting mid-play. They would not chase down the ball. This team's locker room is done. No Super Bowl. The coach survived, man. I don't know. Buffalo Bills already had them written off. But I think they do have a tough schedule coming up. Buffalo has the Eagles coming in next. The Chiefs, followed by the Chiefs and the Cowboys, and the Chargers. So do not think the Buffalo Bills are back. We might have to ring the bell on the Bills again because people are hyped up. But Bills Mafia, Bills are not back. All right, take it easy. All right, we got the Rams surprise win, 1-point win after the Seattle Seahawks kicker blew the game-winning field goal. God dang. I mean, this should have been a game that they won, but it was ugly. I don't know what's going on with the Rams. I didn't see too much of the game, but yeah, the Rams actually had a good fourth quarter, it looks like, scoring a touchdown and the field goal to go up. And I believe the point on this one, the line was, I think Rams covered it. I think they were -1. If I'm not mistaken, that's what they were, -1, and they covered. All right, shout out to them. Love it when the whole team covers. All right, but if you had 1.5, you lost. Looks like if you had Seattle +1, you would have won. But you did win Seattle +1. All right, you won. All right, but anyway, there you go right there. That's nothing. I mean, that means more to Seattle than it does to the Rams. All right, so if you had Seattle +1, you covered. All right, if something happens, Rams covered. Everybody's good. That's what happens. Sometimes that's good money. All right, what is going on here? Geno Smith played a good game. I don't know. All right, what do we got here coming up here? Is this the time to preview the game of the week? Let me get the back. I hit the wrong button. Oh, no. We got to talk about the Broncos. Let's ride. Another game right here. I think the Broncos were favored by, they were favored by 1. Covered. I think I had Minnesota +1. Covered. Did Geno Smith get hurt? Oh, man. Geno got hurt. Did he go out of the game? I didn't see what happened there. But Minnesota Vikings had a chance to win this game, and they end up losing it, scoring too early, giving Russell Wilson way too much time to drive down the field. Broncos, 4 wins in a row. 4 wins in a row. Vikings end up, believe, a 5-game winning streak. And we get the Vikings in 2 weeks. The Raiders do. Or is it 3? I think it's 3 weeks because we get a bye. Well, it'll be more like 2 weeks at this point. But anyway, Denver Broncos riding high. They're in second place. Damn. I didn't see this coming. I know this game was a toss-up, but we got to give Russell Wilson and the coach, Sean Payton, a little bit of credit because, remember, they got beat by 50 points this year. As they say in Baton Rouge, perms. They got beat by 50 perms. And they got beat 70-20 this year. And then they went on a 4-game winning streak out of nowhere. This is crazy. So Russell Wilson looks good. I mean, it's not that he looks super. He's been looking like this the entire year. I don't think he's changed much. Possibly, I can't attribute what the change is. I can't attribute what the change is on this one. I have no idea. Maybe is it an easy schedule? No, the Broncos have been beating world beaters. The Broncos have beaten the Vikings, the Buffalo Bills at Buffalo. They beat the Chiefs, the Packers, who just got a win, and they beat. Is that their 4 games right there? 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, these are 4 tough wins after being beat by a almost record 70 points. 50 points. Put up 70 on the board. It's crazy. Maybe somebody says all lucky wins. No, man, you can't be this lucky. Maybe Russell went to the nanny goat. It's possible. Or maybe somebody dropped that neck on Russ. Game of the week. This is going to be the Taylor Swift Bowl. Yeah, Taylor Swift Bowl. Sean Payton, Coach of the Year. All right, who do you got here, man? Let's put up a poll. Who do you got in this game right here? All right, winner. Let me see here. Philly. KC. There's the poll up here, guys. Yeah, we talked about the sorry Titans. Somebody asked me did we talk about the Titans? Who was it? I think somebody asked me about the Titans. Or the Texans. Okay, it was the Texans. Yeah, we Coach of the Year, DeMarco. I can't remember his last name. The polls on the screen. Hey, the obvious choice. Philadelphia Eagles. Fly, Eagles, fly. All right, let me see here. Let me see what the line is on Philly KC. Philly KC line. Let me see what the line is. Who the favorite up in here? I think it should be the Eagles. All right, you got KC favored by 2.5. This is on my board here. Over under 45.5 points. It's going to be tough. Kansas City has not been scoring. And I just look at this game. And the script has Kansas City with the dub. You got to give Kansas City the dub right here. Kansas City's the normie bet. 3 points, Eagles +3 looks good. Potentially, no? 2.5? No, it don't look good. Because you can get a 3-point loss there. That don't look good to me. There's going to be Kelse commercials, Taylor Swift's parents coming to the game. Taylor Swift's parents are coming to the game. They're going to sit next to Kelce's parents, who Kelce's parents has 2 sons in the game. This is the NWO Bowl. New world order. This is the NWO Bowl, sponsored by you know who. New world order. Kelse gonna propose. No. I'm gonna be on a stream tonight. If Kelse proposes, I might be done with the NFL. I might be done with the NFL if he proposes to Taylor Swift. I might ring the bell and go, all right, this script is crazy. This the Nanny Go Bowl, the Pfizer's Pokety Poke Bowl. New world order. I will be done. The NFL will be sacrificed to the Nanny Goat if that happens. Somebody says, taking my chances on a prop parlay tonight, plus 5,100. Woof, get it. Yeah, the Swifties are going to be in line. This is going to be a dang crazy-ass game. What do we got here? I'm looking at the other prop bets or lines right here. The only problem I have with Kansas City winning this game is that they haven't been scoring a lot of points. Like, they haven't been scoring a ton of points. Their offense has been stagnant. All right, they are inconsistent offensively. They have picked up some pieces to try to make some things happen here. All right, but look, they haven't scored. They had 31 points here against the Chargers. But they had 9 points here, 21 here. They're going to need more than 21 points to beat the Eagles. They're going to need more than 21. They're going to need about 30 good punts. You got the under on KC. Well, yeah, the Eagles defense is going to have to stagnate them. I just don't see it. Eagles offensively, they've been lighting it up. You know, you got right here, 28 here, 38 here, 31. Kansas City's defense, 34 here. All right, 23 there. I mean, Eagles got some offense. They can put some points on the board now. That's the problem Kansas City got. I think this game is a battle of the under. I mean, it's 45.5. I don't see this game, both teams scoring more than 25 points on each other. So you're looking at a 21-21, 24-21. You still get the under right there. I can see that happening. You're going to see a close game. I got Kansas City Chiefs. Line them up, Chiefs. Chiefs. Hell to the Chiefs. All right, anyway. Well, hell to the Chiefs, I think, is the red kid. Hell to the Skins, I can't remember. Anyway. All right, quick update. Florida State is done in the college football bowl game here. We're getting down to the nitty-gritty on the bowl season. What we got is one more week of college football, one more full week of betting some of these small colleges and some of these over-unders that should get you some easy money. So the hard money is going to be then the next week after that. You got conference championship games, and we're going to knock out 2 conference championship games. You got Michigan, Ohio State, I believe, is this weekend. And then potentially you might have them rematch. No, wait. Maybe you don't have them rematch. You got Iowa in the Big Ten championship, if I'm not mistaken. Am I right there? Iowa's in. So one of these teams will get in, Michigan and Ohio State. They're going to get knocked. Whoever does not win the Big Ten championship is out. They're out. So you got that going on. And then whoever wins, I think Ohio State should win and beat Michigan. So that's that. Then you have Ohio State in, should be Iowa. They can't score more than 13 to 15 points. Should be a big win for Ohio State. Ohio State into the Final Four. Michigan out. They need to be out. They didn't even cover their game against Maryland. I was pissed. Then you got on the SEC. Who's over there? Georgia. And who's playing this weekend? Is Georgia playing anyway? Yeah, I can't remember. Georgia's playing what? Georgia and Alabama potentially in the SEC championship. Alabama's coming on strong. They've been sleeping all year, and they got their quarterback situation together. They finally got a mesh. They changed their entire offense to suit him. He's ready to rock and roll. Georgia is looking okay. They're looking all right. They're a sleeping giant. They're like, so we need some comp. UGA, Alabama is a toss-up. Alabama will threaten them. If Georgia wins, they're in the Final Four. Alabama wins. Not so fast. After that, Washington and Oregon. Washington has got who is Washington playing this weekend? I think they got a tough one. I would love to see Washington in there. Washington and Oregon in Las Vegas. But Oregon's got to get past Oregon State. Washington's got to get past Washington State in the Apple Bowl. Washington State should lose, or Washington's in. Oregon should beat Oregon State. They look good. Washington, Oregon rematch. Woo! It's crazy. Florida State's gone. Season over. Let's go ahead and ring the bell on Florida State. They're going to bump Florida State out of this playoff. They lost their quarterback. They don't want to see them in there. They'll probably play, Wake Forest or somebody in the ACC, North Carolina, in a game that who doesn't. Oh, Louisville is the other one. Louisville could sneak in there. Louisville can sneak in there. They're an underdog favorite. If they beat Florida State, Louisville should be looking on the outside in. What's going on with Texas? Texas has got one loss. They beat Alabama earlier this year. Texas did, right on the field. If I'm not mistaken, Alabama's only loss is the Tejas. The Longhorns coming out, dark horse. They could get a championship over there. Who knows? It's going to be crazy. Somebody said, we aren't done. Florida State, okay. I mean, how do you get into a bowl game? How do you get into the top four and you don't have your quarterback? All right, let me give you a top time. Let's got Ohio State, Georgia, and then you're going to have to deal with Washington. Washington gets in. They beat Oregon. And then I'm going to say Texas. Texas gets in. James Madison's done. They lost. James Madison's done so. All right. So Missouri, too. Missouri. What's going on with Missouri? Who do they got left? Missouri's coming out strong here. Let me see Missouri football. Who do they got left? Let's see here. Roster schedule. They play Arkansas. Okay. How come they don't get in the SEC championship then? What's going on there? Who did they lose to? How come they don't get in the SEC title game? Oh, because Georgia. All right, well, there goes that. Wait, they're 2 losses. Missouri's out of here. Ring the bell on them. I thought they had one. Missouri's gone. They lost. Yeah, Georgia's in there. Okay, Missouri not getting in. Who does Georgia end up with? Georgia Tech? Yep, they're playing Georgia Tech. So-called rivalry game. That's going to be an ass whooping. Let's see here. What's going on with Texas? That's what I want to know. What's going on in Texas? Texas football. Who do they got? See what their schedule is. They got Texas Tech. All right. Shout out to the Red Raiders. That's going to be a blowout. Could be a trap game, though. You never know. Let me see what their standings looking like. Texas to the SEC. Who are they playing in the final? Oklahoma State? Oh, Jesus. That's going to be terrible. Oklahoma State's a sleeper. They could possibly play OU or Kansas State. All right, man. I don't think it's solidified over there. OU, Kansas State. If they play Oklahoma, they'll roast them. Kansas State is a sleeper. Oklahoma State, you never know what they're going to do. Oklahoma State has, their season's over. No, they play BYU. All right, and Oklahoma had problems with them. All right, man, this is terrible. Texas Tech beat who? Texas Tech beat who this year? They didn't beat Texas. They haven't played them yet. No. No, they haven't played them. How about UCF? Central Florida is a good football team. Yeah, Texas Tech could beat them, and then that's the end of the Texas conversation. So, interesting there. Anyway, shout out to Ohio State. Who wins out of those teams? I got Georgia's the toughest team right now left. Ohio State plays on their tippy toes. So I don't expect them to do Nathan. They're going to get to the championship playing on their tippy toes. They might not even get there. Who do we got? Georgia. Georgia's the favorite. If Alabama can get in, they could do something. Michigan's done if they lose to Ohio State, obviously, and they got too much controversy, and they look bad in the last couple of games. Who else? The other team? Florida State's done. So, sorry to see that. Florida State, you deserve better. You came a long way, but Florida State's done. And there's Washington. I love to see Washington. I love to see Washington, but I think the Pac-12 is they're not big enough. They're not big enough. They're got great offense, but when you look at their line, their offensive line, their defensive line, their linemen, their linebackers, their safeties or corners, they're not big enough. So they'll play, but they'll meet up with one of these juggernauts, these bullies. They'll meet a bully, and they're gonna get bully balled. All right, but Washington is the better team than Oregon to get in there. So I would hope Washington. I would love to see them do well. But people saying Florida State ain't done. But yeah, I think that's what it is here. Washington or Oregon. Yes, it would. Anyway, we're dragging the show on. Shout out to y'all, man. Enjoy the game tonight. I'll be on my stream, but I'll have it on over there. I have it on. If Michigan beats Ohio State, Michigan's in, Ohio State's out. And but I don't see Michigan beating Ohio State. I don't see it. All right, because no Jim Harbaugh. They look terrible against Maryland. They look terrible. They had they were an 18-point favorite, and it was a game all the way into the end. As a matter of fact, Maryland could have beat them. I mean, how do you almost lose to Maryland and you beat Ohio State the next week? I don't see it, but listen. And Caleb Williams will enter the draft. There's no reason for him to come back. Also, Utah returning back Cam Rising for his seventh year. Cam Rising coming back to Utah. And Utah had a great year. Had they had Cam Rising, they probably would have made some noise in the Pac-12. But Pac-12 is no more. Where's Utah going? Where are they going next year? I forgot. They're going to the Big 12? All right. Sucks for them. All right. But anyway, look, that's the end of it. Caleb Williams, #1 draft pick, going to, I don't know. We'll see. And we out of here, brothers. All right. Thanks, man. Hit the like button on the way out. Peace. Hey, wrong one. Give me my outro music.